see it and stuff. So we got people
That's
joining.
termi.
And there's Termi.
Hey. Hey.
Hey.
Good morning.
Good morning. Oh.
Okay. We are not gonna have a lot of people today, right? We're gonna.
Yeah, we had a handful of flakeouts.
At least they emailed. Twin, Red Penguin, Fedio, Pampers,
Graphics.
and Graphics. And I don't even know if UC is gonna be here today, but that's okay.
He might drop in a bit later, as is his wont.
Okay. Let's start. Seriously, Jax, you go first because you're on the far left on my screen.
Okay, so me and Rabbit Penguin worked on the script a little bit, troubleshooting, but not really great communication over email. I have the script here, and I'll just demo it just really quick here.
Cool.
This is one of the turn 90 animations, and right now the tool that we have is just going to write the scene to a QCI file. So I'm going to open up the script editor. And so if we just run the script here, you can see everything that flipped through the script editor. Basically, it rewrote the QCI file.
Mm-hmm.
And since it already had the animation in there, it appended the file, and you can check and see if everything's right there.
Oh wow.
Did it write the comments as well, or did the comments at the top?
Correct. It rewrote every line of the script, line by line.
So it actually like put the whole thing together. That's really cool, dude.
Yep. And then I just did the export SMD, and so that works. I mean, the whole thing works on naming convention, so that's really important because of scene names and folder structure. And so I did the export SMD. And it puts it back at your keyframe and all that garbage. And it has the compile, and I have Steam up and running here. Let's see.
So it compiles from Maya directly to MDL, basically. It's nice. It's doing Studio MDL.
So there we go.
That's really cool.
But does it compile to the old mod folder, or does it compile to the source, like our Portal 2 build now?
And no, it goes to the old one. So that's where I like regressed apparently this week is not getting the new build in.
Huh.
Well, at least you pulled the build, right? So now you can start working with it correctly.
Yes, although I have to redo the batch, whatever the batch files were, because they stopped Maya from working. So I'll have to redo those.
Yeah, the batch is pretty straightforward. We could probably just edit that and have our own licensee batch. Oh, what's with the horse?
The horse is one of my characters I've had for a while, and he never had a mane, and he never was textured. So now I did ZBrush.
We want horse as playable character.
We're gonna horse riding in Blade Symphony.
Yeah,
we want him as a fighting horse. Like he draws a sword and fucks shit up.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that's what we're doing.
Yeah, so I'll be working on a tail in my spare time, and I'm gonna make it talk. So.
Cool.
Has it got the geometry to be a like full facial animated horse?
Yes, it does.
That's really cool.
It looks like it. It looks like a DreamWorks horse. All right.
Like a talking horse from Brave.
Exactly.
Yeah, there you go.
Actually, there was no talking horse in Brave.
No, I know. Dude, come on. You know
Tangled,
what I mean.
damn it, Tangled.
Tangled works.
Did that horse talk? No,
It didn't talk. It just emoted really hard.
I think only from like Shrek and those those movies.
Yeah, but you don't want to consider the horse Eddie Murphy, man.
Yeah, exactly. What's next? What's next on the rig and everything? I mean, I personally, I saw the email chain back and forth. It was really slow. I recommend just try to grab him on IRC or something, or Skype, or Google Hangout.
Well, yeah, it has to be like voice chat,
Oh,
hangout or something.
shit. TRC. Also, do you mind if I link you up with Dan Graff as well with graphics? I think he had some random thoughts on Pure's rig and all that as well. I know you've already added some stuff that he requested, but yeah.
Yeah, I would love to just, stack that rig up. So.
Cool, man. I'll actually see if I can get you guys either hooked up on Skype or email, because I know he's not in IRC and you are in IRC, but I know you've got weird hours, so yeah.
Well, I think I'm gonna have to go to I really want to go to voice chat or Hangouts or something because
Definitely.
yeah.
Hey, you got all your
He's definitely Skype enabled.
you got your build pulled and everything, right? I remember you running into problems with that. You got it sorted out.
It's all there, but from where to go from there, I'm not sure. So.
Okay. So basically, I guess this week we'll work a little bit more closely together. Get a little bit more Hangouts time on the evenings, and then probably get your script running to the Portal 2 engine of the build. And I'll probably get Rabbit Penguin on Hangouts with you and me at the same time. So I think that'll be ideal.
CRC, if you've got weird hours and you're having issues getting your stuff together, if you drop in IRC and ask either me or Sam or any of the other guys, we could probably help walk you through getting it set up as well, if you and Flux have timing issues.
Okay, yeah, I'm East Coast, so.
Oh,
Right,
this week we also have. I also want to get started on a little bit of doing. We got to re-rig a little bit. Not re-rig, but just add a bone to each character on their hip or the back, depending on the character, so that we can add sword scabbards and sheaths. And I need to work with you a little bit on that. So.
Flux,
Okay.
if you guys are getting into that, do you want to also potentially play with the masks stuff as well? Like, if you're doing it, you might as well do both bits.
We're gonna do one at a time. We're gonna
But
tackle
yeah,
one problem at a time.
That's fair enough. Fuck it. As long as it's not an issue with that script, so that's cool.
Yeah. All right. Let's move on. Cool. Fug, your turn.
Oh, hello. Right. Mapping wise, I said I was going to work on this banner, and I only really started that tonight. It's just a replacement one for. Hold on, let me just enable one of those. It was a replacement one for these. But I haven't really got far. All I've done is just change the background texture. The logo is probably going to change.
Yep.
Most of my week has been spent making a scabbard or sheath. I don't know which one it is for this sword. I suppose it's a sheath, really. And I can show you that. I got it in game today. I just put a grey texture on it. I just wanted to get it in game because of this whole debate about this little medallion I've put on the bottom of it. It's supposed to be a cobweb. Spire, Fedio, and Termi have all sort of been giving me some feedback on it. Their concerns are that this little cobweb that I've attached to it will probably be too small, so I've tried to thicken it up a bit. The plan is it's going to be jiggle boned. And I've actually started jiggle boning it today. I just have to adjust some of the jiggle bone settings.
Did you get the script off Spire?
No, I got Fedio to give me help. Fedio was giving me some tutorial lessons in Max last night. I was up to about 5 o'clock in the morning with him teaching me stuff.
Your missus would have been happy.
She was out anyway, so.
Hooray!
And also, I've been working on the sword that goes with this. Basically, the sword was always a low poly sword. It's quite hard to get detail into such a small sword. So, I've been working on this.
Most of the detail will come from the texture, though. It'll look cool.
Well, I could afford the poly, so I've modelled in the modeled in stuff that you would normally put in the texture, just because I wanted it there. You know, like how a normal map, it's sort of, you know, depending on the light, the normal map can sometimes show it, you know, looking a bit flat. So I modeled in. The plan is I'm putting a spider on the end of this handle of the sword. And that's really the last thing I've got to do. Let me get you a better picture.
Just out of curiosity, why did you choose the spider motif?
I had a spider on it before that I put on a texture because I didn't know. I didn't want to put a dragon. I didn't really want to put a snake. The snake normally goes on a straight-handled sword cane. Like a python or something.
You know, now we need to do another cane sword with the snake coiled around the base, right?
Well,
Just the thought that entered my head.
The reason I sort of put a spider on originally, I mean, it's a wooden sword, but I wanted it to make it look a bit gangster. It's supposed to be like a underworld. It's like a.
I love you say gangster with a British accent. It's so cool.
It's
You
a bit of a
can't
pink
help
sword.
but think of like snakes. Can't help but think of gangsters from like Snatch and Lock, Stock and shit.
It's more sort of gangster than traditional now, just because it's an underworld sword. It's, you know, criminals have it. You know, the vagrants.
So it'd be a vagrant sword. Yeah.
I'll just be really blunt. My reaction to seeing this is it looks like a Halloween toy, like a Halloween costume sword. That's just how It's just really,
You won't be saying that when you're stabbed in the face.
No.
I mean, I'm still open to ideas. I really want to keep the hook on the end of the sword. I discussed with Termi and Spire about changing. There's many different shapes of walking stick swords.
I always thought that the appeal for this weapon was that it's a concealed weapon, and so making it inconspicuous as possible was the goal for the design, rather than being, you know, ostentatious with a spider or whatever.
Yeah, I mean, the spider's not so bad. It's probably the cobweb hanging off of the stick is a bit sort of.
It's like a cartoon villain weapon, basically.
Okay, I think maybe it's back to the drawing board then.
No!
Anyway,
It'll turn out good. You know it'll turn out good, Fog.
No, but I get
just
what.
a pessimist.
No, I get what he's saying, and you know, those thoughts have already flashed through my mind. So hearing somebody else says it's probably time that I rethink it a little bit. Yeah, I mean, putting the cobweb on the sheath was a bit like you don't really see little sort of dangling medallions on walking sticks. So yeah.
You're doing Snoop Dogg's walking stick.
But
I'm
anyway,
sorry, Snoop Lion.
I want to get it done by certainly sort of early next week.
Yeah. What's besides this? What's going on with you next week? With everything else? Because last week you said you were working on Temple. Was that any of that done?
I've only done one compile where I changed the shadow settings on on Fedio's bell tower. That's all I've done so far.
You've talked to us about some stuff as well. Like we've been in talks about the coastline and all that, but I'll cover that shit when I do mine.
Yeah, we've sort of had quite a few discussions about some things, and Termi's got a lot to show, and Spire has as well. So I've sort of just been, I don't know, in discussions more than actually actively working on it.
All right. So long as you guys are totally like in communication or whatever, like it's.
We're on a daily basis.
Right on. Cool. Let's move on. Biohazard. Is your time to shine?
All right. So in the beginning of the week, I finished the stance hut. So I basically added the stance icon there and some particle effects. But so far, there's still no charge bar. So that's still open for discussion later, I guess.
Hey, you're still on camera. Are you supposed to be
Yeah, I know. I'm just starting up the game, so...
Okay, no problem.
Just takes a sec.
No worries.
I could actually see Bio like kind of like bouncing in his seat a little bit, waiting for Bear and Bell to start.
Yeah, this doesn't take that long anymore with SSDs. So you can.
It's good frames as well.
And there are basically particle effects when you do an attack, and when the stance is reset, you have a nice rope rendered particle there that termi added. And when you charge up, there's a small effect that is getting bigger while you're charging. And I changed the charge shader on the character to only pulse when you reach a tier 2 threshold, as we discussed last time. So eventually we don't need the charge bar anymore now, but we might still add it again after all, I don't know.
To noob-proof it.
And yeah.
I mean, I think it's okay without a charge bar. The charge actually is kind of slow. You know, the thing is, we also don't have a charge bar for jumping as well, so it's like everything is sort of, you gotta get a feel for it. Well, we'll see what happens.
Something you can see just on the character, like with the pulse effect now, I guess. Yeah. So you can, I don't know, I like it because you can concentrate on the game instead of having to look somewhere on the HUD.
I think the string counter and the charge, they're good because even the HUD items, they work as just peripheral things that you can like see in the bottom of in the corner of your periphery. So like while you're charging and all that, you don't have to sit like I don't know if you guys can see it from the frame rate, but you can obviously if you've played in game. The charge HUD is very like it's fucking beautiful. It's got nice little animations and stuff like that. But even when you're not looking at it, there's a lot of like little flashes and stuff happening in the corner of your eye. So you don't even need to stare at it directly to know what's going on, but you can use it to analyze moves that you've just pulled off and replicate them if you did something cool, which is also good for newer players.
And the other thing that I added is the hit counter. So that basically counts the multi-hits, and it starts when you reach 2 hits and then just goes up. And then you have some particle effects when you reach a higher value.
Oh, you have like a test button for that. That's cool.
Yeah.
It's not fair.
It actually spawns for all 4 characters, and that's enabled. I need to create a new game now, I guess. So I added the other 2 counters for the second players on the same team below the first player counters, but that might eventually be changed later so that the counter is only valid for the whole team, not for each player, because there's quite a bunch of counters now. So we might combine the upper and lower counters.
That's awesome.
That gets really busy really quickly on screen.
Yeah.
Especially, I was just thinking because those will probably show up in the Spectator HUD as well, Flux. So I don't know about that. I was just thinking about that then.
It might have to go underneath the Spectator HUD because that needs to be the highest Z value.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, I think we should just do them per team. That might make more sense anyway.
Yeah.
And then another thing that I started working on was refactoring the camera code.
Yeah.
I guess that's kind of hard to see. And I didn't commit the build yet, only just the code. So the camera is now following the player a bit more, so like when you are charging up, it goes down. Or when you're attacking, you can feel the force a bit better because it's dependent on the attachment.
It's got a little bit of inertia now.
Yeah. And I separated the camera angle from the view angles, so when you die, you can still rotate now, and the camera follows a bit and stuff.
Nice.
That's really cool.
One thing that came back from feedback a lot from when we were actually like actively testing the game was when blocking, you can still rotate the camera, but then it didn't lock with the rotation of your block. Does that make sense? Like you didn't know which angle you were blocking against, and that made the gameplay really confusing as to like what angle you're supposed to be blocking.
Yeah, I guess that's because it's using the view angle, and the model is just rotating at 90 degrees now.
Exactly.
So, yeah. I mean, eventually we could just lock the angle completely when you're blocking. Or,
yeah.
I don't know.
Maybe we'd like lock the angle, or maybe even like, I don't know. I guess we could do like the upper body turn using a blend.
Like the using, yeah.
Yeah.
That might be better.
Yeah, because in that case we don't need any turning animations.
Yeah.
Well,
Just
we
look
still
at the
need
player.
still need turning for subtle movement, right?
Well, we still need turning for when he actually,
Like step turning.
like when he
Yeah.
actually
Yeah.
physically turns. Yeah. Where are we on that, by the way? CRC Jax, you were doing that last time.
Yeah, they're all done. They're just
Nice.
not in the right game engine. So
Okay. All right. We'll get to that in a separate pass later. Cool. Bio, is there anything else you want to show us?
No, there's nothing else, I guess. And so what I'm going to do now is finishing the camera updates. I still need to add the spectator views, and then I was going to add a intro camera system
Oh,
similar
right.
to the scripting stuff. So
Ah, cool. So we can get
can-
intro animation.
yeah, so you can for different dueling modes create some camera scripts that zoom in on the players or something. I think it would make sense to make them similar to the menu cameras. So you have subtle movements close to the characters, maybe playing a taunt animation or something. That would be kind of cool, I guess, if you have an accompanying round start
Yeah.
screen.
I think it'd be really,
That'll be during the matchup screen, huh?
Yeah.
it's gonna give us animators a chance to make some really juicy, like, show-off animation moves that are typically in combat. You know, like spinning the sword around and like doing all sorts of crazy shit with the sword, just to do some
Yeah,
show-off
exactly.
stuff. Yeah. How would it work though? Would it be like, because normally in the script you have the which model? First you have a script and you define a model, but in this case, the model is already defined. Right? Like,
You could probably just add a bunch of possible animations, and then it would just select the one that's available. Or you just use activities and then do whatever in the animations, I guess.
no, I mean like in the key in
Oh,
the
for like camera locking and all that.
no, I meant in the key values script, like how would you refer to the first player, the second player? The
Oh,
third player?
okay. So what I was going to do is like setting up 3 coordinate spaces for a one-on-one duel. So one for each player and one for the center of the duel, I guess. And then in the script you would specify in which space the camera would play, and so you would create the transformations locally to that space.
Huh. Okay. That'll work.
That's pretty
Yeah.
cool.
So also like we would like specify like, well, okay, because I'm wondering how I should organize my animations once I start doing them. Like, should I call it intro animation 1, intro animation 2 for all characters, and then we can just pick, or it's going to be specified in the script like Phalanx is going to use this type of animation, or
We could just use activities and then even select define a bunch of sequences that use the same activity, so we can just randomize them a bit.
okay, yeah, that works. Yeah, I don't think you can randomize activities if you want the animations to have animation movement, unfortunately.
And do we need that? I don't think you need to extract movement for that, because we don't actually want to move the player, right? Just the model.
Oh, yeah. That makes sense. That's a good point. Okay. That sounds like a good plan. I guess we're nowhere near doing any of that, so...
Just have the cameras for now and idle the players, I guess.
Yeah. Okay. Sounds good. What's going to be up for this week? I guess we're going to be working together on the Spectator HUD?
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
That as well.
Oh, while you guys are doing that, is there any chance you can implement stripping the model for first person?
I think
Because
we
it's
already
not-
added that.
Bio
Oh,
already
really?
did that.
Are you serious, dude? What the fuck?
You see, asked me about that. A
Yeah.
while ago,
Huh.
I think.
Yeah.
God damn. I hadn't checked it for a while because it was like jank last time, but cool. If that's sorted, that'll make our lives a lot easier on the level development side. Awesome.
Yeah. All right, my turn. I made a bunch of. I'm gonna move my camera again. Don't throw up. Come on. So let's not even start here. This is not. I did I did a bunch of designs, right, for the HUD stuff. Let's see. So I did this design for. Oh, you can't even see it. Oh, I'm using the wrong camera. Duh, stupid. Because I'm stopped using.
What are you up
Can you
to?
guys still? Can you guys still hear me?
Brrrr. Whoa, dude.
Can you guys hear me?
Yeah,
it
dude.
works.
Okay. So
Oh, you make me sick.
So I worked on this hit counter, then ink splatters coming in the back, and then shut the fuck up. And I don't know, we just went through a couple iterations of this guy, and just have it so that it's like it's splashy enough so that it looks, you know, shiny and sexy, but also have it like not be super obtrusive. Because like after we tested it, remember, like we added particles to it, and then like it became a little bit too obnoxious. It was catching your eye too much while playing. So we like toned it down a little bit. Also, I'm working on the Spectator HUD, which right now looks like this. I can share this link so somebody can like screen share this guy. Let me do that instead of like pointing my camera everywhere.
Right, man. You got control of the Hangout so we can shift them, right?
I
Like we
don't
can
actually.
shift to you.
I don't exactly sure how it works.
Whoever started the Hangout, if you select one, I think everyone sees that one.
Oh really? Okay.
Yeah.
I can do that. So it's this link.
If you want to link it, I can pick them for you.
Yeah, I'll link it in Hangout. There you go.
Sweet.
Oh, Sam's got it.
Oh, has he beat me? What a bastard.
He's got a better connection than you.
Of course he does, yeah. He's not in Australia.
So the wow, at least
unknown user. What?
There's
Yeah.
unknown user on the far right.
Was that me?
That's-
I don't know.
Oh, it's you.
CRC Jats.
Yeah,
It
CRC.
didn't say that for me though.
It doesn't say CRC, it just says unknown user.
Are
Hey,
you the
we're
only
back.
one that didn't get dropped, Termi?
No, I left and came back. Holy shit,
Oh.
that was weird. I've never seen that before. Did that break out on air?
no, we're still on air.
It says off air at the top. Oh no, it doesn't. Yeah,
Okay.
you're right. We are on air.
Can we go back and share the screen just to wrap it up?
Yeah. Who is sharing screens?
One of you guys share the screen?
Oh fuck, I'll do it. Jesus. Sorry.
I'm working on it. Come on.
Oh, okay, cool.
Here we go.
There we
Okay,
go.
so yeah, basically I redesigned instead of having a map of players of all the arenas, it just shows whatever you're waiting on, because that's the most important piece of information. It's like, when am I going to play next? Now, I just realized that this design that we were talking about, Termi, this really only works for, well, okay, it'll work for both. But we have like two gameplay modes. One is the one where you get to pick an arena, and the other one is you don't get to pick an arena. You start with like the newbie low tier arena, and then you move your way up. I guess this UI will work for both. The way I designed it here, there's only a spectate only button. If you click that, the button changes text to join this arena button. It works the same way as the ready status that we have now. So what you do is you basically cycle over to the arena that you want to join. You hit join this arena, and then if you hit spectate only, it'll just pop you out from any ready status. It works the same way as it does now. So basically, that's what this design does. The reason is because like we'll have a game mode where you can't pick join this arena. Remember, like in the game mode where you have to work your way up the arenas, you can't. That button will not exist. So instead of having two designs for two different game modes, we just have one design for both game modes. And everything else is pretty self-explanatory. The customize button takes you to pick your character and sword. I'm still not super. I'm still not done with this. I want to add one more thing where it it notifies you like you're about to be next. So just make sure you click customize and do all your shit before you fight. That's basically the last thing I want to add to this.
How are we
So-
doing the how are we doing the player panel?
On the player panel, player map will be on a scoreboard, and
Okay.
so it's probably gonna look like what we had before, but
Mhm.
cleaned up a little bit. It has scores and everything. So yeah, the Spectator UI will probably just look like that. Pretty simple.
Cool.
Anybody have like comments, feedback on this? Definitely.
Well, the match that is currently shown on the UI, is that the match you have been readied for, or the current one you're viewing? Because you can ready a match and then still change the arena currently. So that might be a bit confusing, I guess.
Yeah. So that's like a really good point. I also thought about this. My intention with this design is to only show the one you're waiting for, the arena that you're waiting for. So
Okay.
maybe I could write at the top somewhere like you are currently queued for this arena, and this is what's happening in that arena you're waiting for. That way you don't have
Yeah,
you can
that
like go
sounds good.
around it. Yeah. So I might add that back. I'm basically like I'm going back and forth. I've added a whole bunch of elements. I removed a whole bunch of elements. Now I'm gonna add a little bit more back. So I think I should stabilize on the design probably later today.
Quick question. The up next part of the UI, if say you're in a queue of more than 5 people, will you be able to see where you are in the queue, or will
No.
that be on the scoreboard tab?
It would be off the queue because there's only a limited space. I didn't want to design a thing where Biohazard has to like program a thing that wraps around or do something stupid. So I think what's going to happen is if you're off that list of players, you're like that 2 more is going to be blue. So that's as far as I've thought about that design right now.
Alright.
Also, I wanted to
Could
ask.
you have it be like one more than you, or you and 2 more, or some shit like that? Like, could it just be wording stuff
Maybe.
instead of just turning it blue, so you know exactly where you stand? And yeah, I think it's fairly important so the player knows always where they sit exactly in the queue.
Yeah, I agree. I think, I'm not really interested who else is in the queue. I'm just interested in when am I going to get to play.
Yeah. I mean, this information is going to get repeated again in the scoreboard as well. This is sort of a handy like shout out to like see really quickly, like really briefly.
So the scoreboard's still going to act as a as almost like an expanded queue with stats and all that as well.
Yeah, it's going to be like a way more expanded version of what this
Okay.
is.
Like maybe almost like what we were spitballing with before.
Yeah, basically like that.
Hmm.
And yeah, I still haven't really resolved that part of the design. That's also another really good point. It's like if you are off that list, what happens? That's as far as I've thought. But I also wanted to ask Biohazard like how difficult it is to do like color text right in that array of text labels, because it's
Yeah,
going
we
to be
just
like white
draw the
text.
text by hand, I guess, without labels.
Yeah, just like multiple labels basically.
Will that
No,
affect
just, the paint
will that affect
function of the
localization at
item.
all?
Wait, one at a time. What?
You go
Biohazard.
first, Tommy.
Oh, fuck. Would that affect the localization strings and all that, or no? Like doing it by
No.
hand?
Yeah, sure.
Okay.
You can just translate the string first and then draw that.
Right on. That's all good.
So what I said is that I would just draw the text directly in the paint function of the HUD element instead of using labels.
Oh,
It's easier.
gotcha. Okay. Yeah.
So it should be okay. Just like have some color text somewhere because it's like
sure.
you could do this as a one string, but if there's gonna be like
that
color
won't
in between
work.
text,
You
yeah.
need to draw the colored parts individually anyway.
Okay. Alright, I'll just keep that in mind when I'm designing this thing. I'll probably have it done by today. The next thing I want to work on after this is we need a start screen, right?
Yeah.
Like a round start screen. I might as well just design a round end screen to go along with it. And oh yeah, I also included a chat design. I don't know if you saw, but it's really basic. It's the same exact layout as the old Valve one, except it doesn't have the ugly filters button.
Okay.
And it probably doesn't look like all the Steam panels as well, I'm assuming.
Yeah, it's just reskinned.
Yeah.
And I will also work with CRC on the sheathing and unsheathing stuff for rigging. Okay, and I'm done. You're next.
I think Sam's next, man.
Oh, Sam's next. Sorry.
All right. What I've been working on is I've worked on these charge textures, like Biohazard requested. Have charge textures for Ryoku and Pure, and Pure's alternate costume as well. Should I show them in game? I guess.
Yeah, if you want.
Yeah. All right. I'll just load it up. All right. So this is the one for Ryoku. Let's see. There we go. Wait.
Oh, you're trying to get a different camera angle?
Yeah, what's a good camera angle for this?
-90.
So Cam, ideal, you're...
Alright, there we go.
Nice.
I don't know how well the frame rate is, if you can see that or not. And
Oh, he has like,
And,
oh yeah, right. He didn't have a glow charge
he didn't
shader
have.
or texture.
There wasn't. It was just a flat glow before, but now
Yeah.
it actually lines up with the armor. So, same thing.
It
with
looks way
the-
better now.
Yeah. All right. And the other thing that I've worked on is just this model in 3D Max for the courtyard. I can do a. I'll render that out.
Are you guys seeing any changes on Spire's screen? I'm still
No.
seeing the.
I think your
seen any
hangout's frozen.
updates?
You might want to stop and start it. Sorry, dude.
We're gonna lose it completely.
Okay.
Sam just turned into a sad robot because his screen share isn't working.
Oh, this is disintegrating. Oh, and we'll have
Aw.
him return. What's the consensus on like changing color for swords? By the way, is
I
that,
think
is that
it
going to
could
be a
be
lot
cool.
more work?
But that'll be an answer. Wait, do you mean like for the artists or for Bio?
For the artists.
It's well, like pretty much all of our swords have already got exponent maps and all that, which means it's no additional cost texture-wise. It might involve painting masks, but you know, we sit in Photoshop all day, man.
Yeah,
It's not that big a deal.
but it's like, how many swords do we have? That's like a lot of masks to paint.
At the moment, we're sitting on.
Not excluding your penis sword.
What are you talking about? I don't know what you're talking about. There's no penis sword in this game, dickhead.
We have like 12 or something like that.
Dude, we have 20. What are you talking about?
Shit.
Why are you hating on why are you saying that our number of swords is low? Clearly it's high. We've got 20 swords.
Do you want to go first while we're waiting on Spire?
Sure. Alright, so this week I did a couple of things. I'll just kind of like blaze through them. Have you got my screen?
Yeah.
Yep. Okay. So first off the docket, earlier this week, this is one of our swords. This is the Serrated Serenade. I got this done, which is the scabbard for it. It's kind of like a combat weapon thing.
That looks really cool, dude.
I think it turned out alright. It's probably easy to see here. This is it in the modeling program in its scabbard, and I think it fits quite nicely. So that was the start of the week. I also worked with Bio a little bit on the string counter stuff. I messed with some of the particles a little bit, as you mentioned. What else have I been doing? I also have been talking to both Sam and Fug and Video and anyone else that would listen to me blather on about the Clifftop Arena in Temple. Currently, it looks like this. Just let me know if my screen stops updating or whatever. So this is one of our arenas here. Let's close this off. So yeah, it looks pretty much like that. That is the arena. You fight down here. This is the bell tower that Video just recently finished. He's still working a little bit on it, but for the most part, it's done. Anyway, this arena's pretty bare, and we've kind of come to the conclusion that with the level of detail we're shooting with on other parts of the game, we should probably do a little bit more with it. So I was spitballing some stuff. That's a really bad sketch. If you go here, you can see what we're going to do with it. So the idea is basically that it's going to turn into a pretty much like a memorial gravesite, and it'd basically be where the people from the temple have basically stored the bodies of their elders in a roundabout way. So that's basically it. Like,
is that the king? That's where the king is buried. There's just 2 concubines as well.
well, the idea was like we've looked a little bit into how various cultures do this kind of thing, and it's basically a lot of the time in strong feudal situations. Basically, the most important person gets buried in a single location, and if they think there's people that are almost as important, they don't get their own location. They get they get put alongside who was essentially their master. So you'd basically have like maybe one of the Grand Masters of the temple, like an amazing swordsman, and then by his side would be his number 2 and number 3 pupils or second in commands and things like that. So basically they'll be there, and this section will be wood. The other bits will be concrete, and we'll have like a little platform that outstretches over the top of the rocks that you guys saw a second ago. Yeah, in that arena. So that's what we're doing with it. We're turning it into a more of a official space, and that's what I've been working on.
Yeah, rather than like a rock cliff side or something.
Yeah, well, like we've had it's more fitting the abilities we've got with the engine to our art style, and basically try and get the best result with what we've got. And unfortunately, for things like getting shadows and getting the level of detail we want, we can't go purely with a model-based solution. So we've got to like kind of hedge our bets on brushes and models and all that to get things looking good. So yeah.
What's going to be coming up this week? What's up with this week?
This week I'm hoping to get the majority of the arena model in the can, and I'm also going to be messing around a little bit more with scabbards and what was the other thing? Oh, I'm going to start messing with the masks stuff as well, just to see how we go with that, because they're all additional items we need to approach at some point. So might as well start hammering them out, because we're getting to the tail end of the level design content flow for the release stuff anyway. So yeah.
Spire, welcome back.
Yeah, I apologize for the massive failure.
No, it's
which was
fine.
working out earlier. I don't know what happened. I just had one more thing to show, which is this wall that I'm working on. It doesn't look like much right now, but I'm going to be using a bump map, and obviously there's no texture on it right now, and it's comprised of There's 3 different variations of this wall. There's like 3 different pieces that we can mix and match, just to give it some variation, and they all meet up with each other in tile. So
So that's being
This is
sculpted
gonna
and
go.
stuff, right?
This is going to be the retaining wall that goes around the that separates the courtyard from the yard in front of the temple. And
I'll
yeah,
load it up, Sam, while you're talking about it.
I don't really have much else to say. I mean, that's pretty
Oh,
much
shit.
it.
Well, just so everyone knows what you're talking about, these walls here,
Oh yeah.
we've got a temporary
those
model
are
in
the
there at the
walls.
moment. But the idea is that we'll be replacing them with Spyro's awesomeness. So yeah.
Show us the sculpt, Spire.
Well, I don't really have any sculpting done yet, but I have like a little bit of a. I was just practicing a little bit before I did any detail, but on the actual model, it's going to take a while to load because I don't have ZBrush open yet. Sorry.
Well, oh, it's open now. Nice.
What's going to be for next week, by the way?
Next week, obviously I need to finish this model, and I want to get some more work done on the floor. I have a plan for it. I've talked it over with Termi and Fedio about what I want to do with that, and oops, here. This is just a little bit of a test sculpt for a brick. I don't know. It's not much.
That's like the most beautiful piece
That's
of
what-
rock I've ever seen.
Yeah. So yeah, that's pretty much it.
That's awesome.
That is this week in art.
Yes.
And coding as well, with you guys being here.
And coding and design.
I know Fedio's been tweaking the bell tower quite a bit.
Oh shit! I forgot to mention also. We've got a couple of people that weren't here, as we said before. I've actually got some random thoughts on, like, from people that can't make it.
You should show the stuff that Pampers did, and if you have stuff that Dan and graphics did too.
I don't have the latest stuff that Dan's done, but he said very shortly he'll be showing off some of the pure animations. He said he's got a couple of, I can't remember the wording. It was essentially three hit combos in certain attacks and stuff like that. That's what he's on at the moment.
Oh, somebody pull up Fedio's animation for deploy, sword deploy.
Right here.
Was that
That's
Fedio's
Pampers.
or was that Pampers? That's Pampers.
I mean
dude.
Pampers. Sorry.
Fug's got it. Oh no, he doesn't. He's just got the model. I might have it. Let me have a look. Ah, I got it here. Here we go. I'll just chuck it on share. Alright, so this is it here. This is a deploy animation that Pampers worked on. It's using... what's the name of this fucking sword? I can't remember. Anyone?
Staccato black.
There we go. Alright, so this is Staccato Black deploying. You guys probably don't have the frames for it, so I'll try and walk through it.
Focus already showed it on HLMV. I was trying to tell you, but I was on mute.
Oh, you fail, fuck. Alright, cool. Well, that's that. So yeah, that's what Pampers worked on a bit this week. And I had... I don't actually have anything to show, but Dan's been working on... what I call it, pure animations, and also Angry Nerd has said that he'll have the first soundscape pass for Temple done sometime in the next few days.
By the way, with sword animations, it'd be really good to get a like an animation event bio, so that it uses like, oh, I am the player, I am doing an animation event called sword animation. Tell this equipped sword to do some deploy animation, like, and then I can hook it up so that it's a anime event fired from the player. So when he does an unsheath, the sword will automatically deploy. I think it'll be really cool.
It's not going to be for many of the swords, but a couple of them, it'll be key to them, so...
Well, if it won't find it, it just won't do it, right?
Yeah. As long as it doesn't spaz out. The sword just explodes in the player's hand because there's no animation. The sword falls off, or goes limp, if it's a certain type of sword.
What else did we have? We had, did Pampers do anything?
Yeah, that was Pampers' animation, dude.
Sorry, Vedio. Vedio was working on
The bell tower tweaks.
Bell Tower. Okay. Do you know what he's doing? Is he going to wrap up this week, or what's up with that?
He should be wrapping on it this week, and then he's probably jumping on to something else. I've actually said for everyone at this point... What the fuck? Sorry, I just had an ad pop up. Anyway. Yeah, as soon as he finishes the bell tower, I'm actually going to start pushing him in the direction of getting his scabbards done, because he's done a handful of swords, and that stuff needs to be done at some point. So, might as well
Pampers
get
was
that out of the
talking
way.
about how he was going to do scabbards for one of the swords that he worked on.
Was he? He hasn't mentioned it to me. He might have chucked it in IRC, it slipped through the cracks.
No.
I think he's working on Andante.
Yes, yeah, that sounds vaguely familiar.
I also spoke to Fedio last night. Sorry, Flux. I also spoke to Fedio last night about his because he's got 4 swords to do. And so he's aware about it. He's thinking about it.
Okay. So we all got our shit this week. Just to wrap up, I did some like biz dev typey shit, like talking to. I'm not gonna mention it on air, but a potential investor.
Don't mention the names, yeah.
Yeah, but basically, like, we have to get together as a studio, talk a little bit about whether or not we want like investment money, because we do need a little bit of marketing money for like going to Penny Arcade Expo, going to GDC, all that shit. So.
Well, and it's not just wanky business stuff. Like at the end of the day, it could be the difference between having a bunch of players on servers and only having a few players on servers. And obviously, we want as many people as possible to cut up with swords.
Also, I'm not sure if all of you guys heard, but Min Lee, the creator of Counter-Strike, saw one of our older videos last week or a couple weeks ago, and he said he really liked our game and he wants to sort of lend out a hand and support us. And it's really, really awesome of him. It turns out he's like really, really cool. I talked to him on Skype. I also introduced Biohazard to him.
Nice.
And we had a technical nerd out over Source Engine and other things.
Common interests.
Yeah, basically. And that's all that is from BizDev. So.
Oh no, dude! There's one other thing. We've got our advance payment stuff together. That was the other part.
Oh yeah.
According to the email.
So we have money and we can pay, get our like pay Valve basically.
Like we already obviously have the engine for people that are watching this, but yeah, like you basically get what you need before paying for it, but it doesn't mean you don't have to pay for it. And we've been spending the last couple of months trying to pull all that together. So
actually, I'm not really sure how that works, and actually, I don't think we can actually talk about that process.
Well, yeah, yeah. Well, maybe this is proverbially, obviously. But we have got that together, which is good.
So that's it. That's all from BizDev. We'll talk to UC. We're still working on the app ID and shit. So.
Oh, that is still happening? Like, still in the works?
Yeah.
I hadn't heard anything about it for a little bit.
Yeah.
We're getting to the point where we do need it, though, right? That's the way it feels to me.
Yeah. Because, like, we need to start up stats.
The stat stuff, yeah. Cool. Well, that seems fairly solid to me. Hooray for progress.
Cool. Right on. Thanks, guys, for being in weekly 1 hour. You know, if you calculate out like 1 hour per week, it's like a whole week out of the year. So it's actually quite significant. Like spare
I was
an
gonna
hour.
say when you consider it though, it does help a lot.
Yeah. Anybody else have questions?
Yeah.
Questions for like game progress and stuff? You guys have any questions?
Nope, just
Not
a
off
heavy
the top of my
sigh.
head.
We also didn't win anything for the San Diego game competition.
I mean,
Was it Indiecade?
it's in LA. It's in LA.
It's LA.
But yeah,
It's not Indiecade. Is it Indiecade?
I'm
Indiecade.
pretty
Yeah.
sure it's Indiecade, yeah.
Oh, okay. I thought Indiecade was the German one. Anyway, we didn't win, but we got invited to the thing. I don't think any of us can go at the time though, because I'm gonna be on vacation during that time, and Sam doesn't want to do PR.
Sam is maybe able to do it. We were talking about it before.
Yeah.
But I mean, I don't blame you. It's like it's gonna be a lot of meet and greet stuff. But
No. He just said he might be able to do it. he
Alright.
might be doing it, dude. Yeah.
Alright.
A few stiff brandy should help you out, Spire.
So British. Sorry. I think we're done.
Yeah. Thanks for coming by again. And
Yeah.
give people who didn't join like shit.
Give them shit. That's the way
Also
it should
also give Twin Cannon shit again if you see him online.
be. I hope Twin Cannon watches this. Twin Cannon, why the fuck weren't you here, dude?
It's a recurring joke. Seriously, it's not even funny anymore.
All right, let's pull the plug.
Yeah, wrap it up. Thanks, guys.
Bye.